adjustment of status is pending. Hopefully, so from October 1st onwards, the USCIS is going to start issuing the 5 years employment authorization instead of 2 years employment authorization. This is a very good news. Emily, where did we get this news from? Is it from where? Or when did they start, where will they start implementing it?
Yeah, so this was a Department of Homeland Security fact sheet that was issued yesterday, and it doesn't really address adjustment of status or employment-based or anything like that. The title of it is that the Biden-Harris administration takes new actions to increase border enforcement, accelerate processing for work authorizations, while continuing to call on Congress to act. So it sounds very not relevant to employment-based immigration, and most of the ideas that they propose making changes to and updates that are giving have nothing to do with employment-based immigration until we get down to this one section that's talking about improving processing of work authorizations. In that section, first they say beginning October 1st, they're going to accelerate processing of some EADs. This is not related to employment-based green card EADs, the C9 EADs. They're talking about for other people. But right under that, then they say further, USCIS will increase the maximum validity period of initial and renewal EADs to 5 years for certain non-citizens. Then they provide a list of who these certain non-citizens are, and they specifically say, including applicants for adjustment of status. They don't provide any kind of limitations or restrictions on that. They have several other categories that they mention. But if you're an applicant for adjustment of status, that is including employment-based. So I don't see any reason why it would not be employment-based, even though this whole alert fact sheet is nothing to do with employment-based. I think it would be extremely unfair if they provide this benefit for some people applying for adjustment of status, but not others. But yeah, so all of this is through a fact sheet put out by the Biden and Harris administration and the Department of Homeland Security yesterday evening.
That's a very good news for a lot of those people who keep on renewing every 2 years. Now it's every 5 years, hopefully. So you'll get the green card within the 5 years. But this is a very good step taken by the administration. Now, one thing, Emily, what they said is that when we file the adjustment of status, we file EAD in advance parole, and they're going to grant it for 5 years from now. They said starting from October 1st or so, we still are expecting USCIS. This is published in the Department of Homeland Security, under which the CBP, the State Department, and the USCIS comes in. But this has to be implemented by USCIS. So somewhere from now onwards to October 1st, I'm expecting a notification from USCIS how the process is going to work. One thing that I get confused about is that what about the advance parole though? Now, when the USCIS started issuing EADs for 2 years though, now initially it was only 1 year, they changed the EADs to 2 years. They started issuing the advance parole in the combo card for 2 years, even though they never announced that advance parole is going to be for 2 years, where they announced the EAD for 2 years. Could we take right now that when we apply for EAD and advance parole, that they're going to grant EAD and advance parole for 5 years? Or am I too optimistic?
I think you may be too optimistic. I have my doubts because I feel like USCIS treats AP differently than EAD. I mean, we've seen that from just looking at processing times and how at one point they started splitting up the EAD and AP renewals because they wanted to try to improve EAD processing times, but they could care less about AP processing times, and those got worse and worse and worse. They gave the auto extension for EADs, extended the auto extension to 540 days for EADs, still did nothing for AP. So I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe they'll just go ahead and issue the combo cards for 5 years. But I'm not holding my breath on that. So we'll have to see what they announce again. So USCIS has not announced anything yet. And because it's USCIS, it's going to be actually implementing this. I think we can expect something coming from them in the next few weeks here. And I still am not sure if it does begin October 1st. There's kind of two separate paragraphs, and the October 1st date is in a different paragraph. So I don't know if they're going to implement this from October 1st. Is it going to apply only for EADs filed after October 1st, or is it for anything issued after October 1st? That's the things that I think USCIS will have to come out with in the next few weeks. But the good thing is eventually it should improve processing times for EADs, because USCIS work is going to be cut down to 20%, right? Instead of it renewing every 1 year, now they renew every 5 years, which makes total sense, especially with the priority dates where they are. We know that they've already come out and said that, yeah, we've got so many AOS cases for India and China. We have enough applications to use up visas for the next several fiscal years. So that means people who are already pending are going to be waiting a while. It's not likely that all those people that are already filed are going to be getting the green card this year. So this will eliminate those constant renewals, and we'll have to hope about the AP. And then the other thing, they do refer to this being in addition to other steps they have taken, specifically extending the auto extension from 180 days to 540 days. But that's supposed to sunset October 26th, a month from now. I have a feeling maybe they're going to extend it again, given that they're going to be taking in so many new EAD applications. That's the other thing. They've been going around to all the other types of people that are eligible for EAD now, sending out text messages, sending out emails, calling them, doing a lot of community outreach to get people to file the EAD.
Not our people. They don't need to do it.
Right. They don't need to do that for our people. But they said they sent out 1.4 million email and text notifications to people who are eligible for these new EADs, not our people. So is that 1.4 million EADs that they're going to have to be processing in the next few months? What is that going to do to current processing time? So I have a feeling they're going to have to extend that sunset, and hopefully they will.
But either way, if they are not going to implement it by October 1st, they're definitely going to implement it future. I'm expecting a very positive result. I'm also assuming that, Emily, when we file the EAD and advance parole together, though, there is a high chances that they may issue the combo card, though. Because when they announced the 2 years, they didn't say that they would do it for advance parole, but they did it, though. But of course, some of the times recently when we file EAD and advance parole, we are only seeing EAD approval, not advance parole. But if you go into the theme, what the USCIS is trying to do is try to reduce the stress on themselves and increase the customer relationship. They should be doing the advance parole too. We should advocate for them. I hope so they will do it. But for all those people who are filing right now, go ahead, continue filing the EAD and advance parole. Now, if you can club EAD and advance parole together, though, you have a greater chance that you may get an EAD and advance parole approval for 5 years. That will be the best thing that I want to see, to have an EAD and advance parole for the next 5 years. Oh my goodness, that's going to be so good. Every 5 years to renew EAD and advance parole is the best thing. Now, I know for sure that this EAD will be implemented, but I'm yet to conclude that the advance parole also will be given for 5 years. Whether the EAD will be coming in starting from October 1st or maybe a little bit later on, that I'm not sure, but the 5 years EAD seems to be a done deal. The only thing is that to get the advance parole. I wish they've given EAD for all the people who filed an I-140 though. I don't know. I mean, they can just issue a notification, start issuing these things. I don't know why they don't do it. But it's because our guys do not write letters to the congressman. Our guys do not write letters to administration. Look at the amount of people they're giving 5 years EADs to the asylum applicants, to removal, cancellation of removal proceedings. Those people who are in these cancellation removal, those people who are in the deportation process also, they're giving EADs. And they're sending text messages to all those people who are eligible, who came in from countries like Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, Ukraine, and some other countries. Hope they would do the same benefit for those people who I-140 is approved. Hope our guys are going to contact the congressman and the administration to get an EAD for all those people who approve the I-140. But anyway, this is a very good news, guys, that the adjustment of status people from now onwards pretty soon are going to get 5-year EAD. Hopefully so, that's going to be for advance parole. Anything else, Emily?
Nope.
Thank you very much for tuning in, guys.